Welcome to UC Today with me, David Dungay. I have with me today Stijn, CEO of Enreach. Welcome to the show, Stijn. How are you doing today?
Thanks, David. Doing really well. Hope you're doing fine as well.
Excellent. Well, today we're going to be talking about a range of topics, including your foray into the Nordic market. But before we get into that, Stijn, can you give us a bit of an introduction to Enreach and yourself, please?
Yeah, so Enreach is a pan-European software provider that is also an operator. So we sit on the border between UCaaS and the network. So we are a full service provider, a full MVNO in 9 countries. And what we do best is we combine our network assets, so the mobile access and the fixed access that we have, with our unified communications software. And we make them work really well together for businesses all across Europe.
Excellent. So, first up on my list of questions here, Stijn, is to talk about your recent acquisition, your move into the Nordic market with the Benemen business. Can you give us a bit of an update on that? What was that acquisition all about, and where are you today with that?
Yeah, today we have acquired Benemen and we are in the process of integrating it. So for us, Benemen provided us with a very interesting opportunity into the Finnish market. Not just the Finnish market actually, but also the Swedish market. We were looking for an acquisition to further expand into the Nordic region. We were already present in Denmark. And for us, Benemen provided that opportunity because they are one of the main challengers, I would say, in that market, one of the main innovators as well. So they provide us with access to a new geography where our products can really make a difference as well. Plus a really nice technology addition to our group with their advanced integration of Salesforce and Dynamics that we did not have to that extent yet in our group.
Yeah. Okay, so Enreach, you have a quite a unique approach to the market. You have local presence in each one of your regions, but tell us about the Nordic market, especially. How does the Finnish market consume and adopt UC technology compared to perhaps some of your other regions?
Of course, Finland is quite new for us, so I cannot pretend that I know everything about it. But looking from the outside at the Finnish market, from the perspective of the Dutch market, which is personally my home market, but also the Danish and the German market, I think it's safe to say that the Finnish market is quite far ahead of all of those markets. And how do we see this? I would say mainly in terms of mobile integration and also the mobile-only market that is really big there. I think more than 95% of the market in Finland, if I had to guess, is mobile only. So they don't have fixed phones anymore on their desks. They work from their mobile phone or from a soft phone installed on their laptop. No need anymore for a physical phone. And that gives a different type of behavior for end users and a different type of expectation on how far they expect mobile can be integrated with those CRMs, but also things like getting the right contact card that should also work on your mobile device and not just on your laptop or on your fixed device. And that's, from my perspective, very interesting and something that we already see the first signs of as well in the Danish and the Dutch and the German market.
Yeah, it's an interesting question. A mobile-first approach. That seems a little bit, ahead of certainly here in the UK. What does all this mean for the future of the PBX generally?
Well, I think it bodes well for the future of the PBX. If you think about it conceptually, a PBX used to be all about making a certain geographical location well reachable because a PBX was installed in a certain geographic location. Conceptually, that's already changed because of cloud PBX to saying an organization with people manages their reachability and also their internal communications through a PBX. Now, with the advent of mobile integration, and what we also say, especially also in the Dutch market, with mobile comes also private communications in many cases, the PBX becomes more also a personal device, a personal PBX, so to say, where on the network level you can say, well, it's great that I'm reachable now for all my business contacts, but I'm actually on holiday. So how about just my VIP customers can reach me and the rest gets sent to my colleague or my secretary when I'm on a holiday? Or the other way around. I'm in an important business meeting. Nobody is to disturb me except maybe for my wife or my mother-in-law or maybe not my mother-in-law. Those types of filters we already offer in the Dutch market and we think those will be more important. It's all about when you are bringing all these different communication networks together in one application, the challenge is not to be reachable, it's to be not reachable in a way that is healthy for the individual, but in a way where the customer still gets someone on the phone. I think that's where the PBX plays a role.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so part of your recent acquisition, I was speaking to some of your colleagues recently, and they mentioned a new term I hadn't heard before, the casual contact center. Can you explain a little bit more about that and what that means exactly?
Yeah, that sounds like my first job actually, but no, just kidding. No, in general, as Enreach, we have taken quite a few steps now into the contact center as a service market with the acquisition of, first of all, Masbos for inbound communications already in 2019. After that, last year we added HeroBase, that has been recently rebranded now to Enreach in Denmark, adding also outbound contact center. So with that, we have 360-degree contact center as a service. And now the most recent acquisition, Benemen, adds on top of that a very deep native integration into Dynamics and Salesforce that enables you to really bring all different communication flows, including mobile, into those CRM solutions. So what you get is quite a well-rounded, all-round experience on the CCaaS level. But of course, Enreach has a background as a UCaaS player, so really focused on the cloud PBX offering. Now, of course, a very easy reason why we said we want to add CCaaS is, first of all, we have many customers that are demanding more CCaaS type of functionality, so more contact center type of functionality than we have to offer, and we can now cross-sell to them, and that's what we're doing. So you're talking about, let's say, an average end user that is used to paying maybe 10 or 15 euros per month per user. A contact center agent, you're talking more like 80 or 100 euros per user per month. So that's an interesting upsell to do. But what we also see is that, especially now in the pandemic, the borders between different roles and functions are starting to become more vague. I think there is also a lot of smaller companies in Europe that are running a contact center without realizing it. They are in regular contact with customers, but they don't have, a state-of-the-art contact center solution installed, or maybe they think it's also too expensive because they're not having full-time people answering the phone for customers, but sometimes part-time doing that. So you put on your agent hat, so to say. And that's what we mean with the contact center, with the casual contact center. It's a contact center that doesn't realize it's a contact center. And that's where we see from the UCaaS space an increase, and really this is a trend, in an increase in demand for additional functionality, but without creating a contact center island. It has to be integrated with the entire UCaaS space. So a contact center agent that has to forward a call to a colleague that happens to be on the UCaaS solution should just be able to do it and actually maybe hand over their skills also to that particular colleague, so that colleague is also well equipped with all the history of that client to help that client. And I think that's where the casual contact center comes into play. Not the contact center where there are 200 agents full-time answering the phone for a big insurance company. Those will always need very dedicated solutions. But what about a solution for UCaaS that can transform into an advanced contact center solution at the right moment in time when it's needed? And maybe that solution doesn't have to cost 80 or 100 euros per user per seat per month, but it could also cost, for instance, a bit less, somewhere in between that 15 and that 100 euro. And that's where we think it's a great opportunity to grow, and that's where we're focusing now our attention in integrating these two worlds.
Okay, so I mean the casual contact center. So as you put it, these are businesses who are running a contact center, but might not be entirely aware that they're doing so. Is this a small business, phenomenon, or are we seeing this across the customer base you work with?
We see it across our customer base, and look, first of all, the definition of a small business happens to be different in every European country. That's what we've learned. So a small business in Germany could still have 100 employees, for instance. In the UK probably as well. And 100 employees in Denmark is already quite a reasonable sized business. So I would say, as Enreach, looking at our the total markets that we're serving, on average we are around 50 to 100 seats in that space. And there we see a lot of this demand. Usually, I dare to say those types of customers do not have a dedicated contact center solution installed for people answering the phone for customers, because they usually maybe have 5. Sometimes they don't even have people doing it completely full time, and if they are, it's just a handful of people. For that, I think the CCaaS solution can be perfect. And then in addition, if those 5 need to temporarily expand into 15 or 20, because it happens to be busy, and also maybe the CEO or the finance director has to answer the phone, that should be possible without charging a full agent license in such a case. So I think that's, and also without having to install separate software. That's where we believe the integration of CCaaS and UCaaS can play a big role.
Wow. So, I mean, we've been hearing this a lot in both the UC and the CCaaS markets. These worlds are really, they're starting to collide in a really meaningful way now. Can you tell us a little bit more about how is your UCaaS offering really driving this new offering around the casual contact center, and what are you seeing from that merging of these two worlds?
The UCaaS offering is driving the demand for the casual contact center. I would dare to say, because in all honesty, the CCaaS customers that we have currently are much larger. They don't demand this because they are already aware of what is out there and are already using it and are already running a full-time contact center. So the UCaaS services and the UCaaS market that we're serving is driving the demand here. Also, we are doing a lot of research and development and innovation in making our clients more adaptable and more personalized. And that's also where we're seeing these demands come into play, saying, hey, most of the solutions have the screen pop when you get an incoming call and you get already the information from the CRM. Most of them can also do click to dial and also log calls into the CRM. But when it goes a bit further than that and having more advanced skill-based routing, usually a typical UCaaS solution, or even sometimes in capacity, you reach the limits of it. And that's where a CCaaS solution comes into play. And what we've always been doing from the UCaaS perspective is trying to add functionality to our UCaaS platform. But after a while, you find, hey, this is a specialized market. There are players that have specialized in this, that are really deep into these processes and integrations, and it makes more sense to collaborate there than to try to copy everything. And that's how we got started. That's how we dipped our toe into the water in the CCaaS market space. And that's why we were very happy that we were able to acquire two companies that did a great job here, and that we now integrate into one user experience across UCaaS into CCaaS. So it will be possible with one client from Enreach to basically be a day-to-day PBX user, but also, for instance, answer your native mobile call, just be in the phone with a colleague. You get another call from a customer, and you basically convert that call into a three-way call with the customer, basically to help them in the agent console of a CCaaS solution. So you can shift different contexts within our app. It's one single solution that seamlessly adapts to what you need at that specific moment in time. We think that adaptable user interface, that is the future of the PBX and of the user experience for UCaaS.
Okay, well, let's talk a little bit more about the future now. The next 12 months. What are you excited about, Stijn, from a technology perspective? Also, what are we likely to see from Enreach over that time as well?
Well, the next 12 months, first of all, I think we're all happy that we can go to the restaurants again and everything will be opening up. I think let's be clear. I don't know when this interview will air, but at this moment, the rules are being dropped, things are opening up. So we're ready, standing by, or already aggressively pushing into the market, because we think there will be a huge swell of demand in all our markets for the type of solutions that we have to offer. So first of all, it's all about being able to deliver what we already have in a good way towards the customers with our existing sales forces. But of course, at the same time, we are heavily investing in R&D, as we are always doing. And we've been working actually for the last 2-3 years after doing the initial set of acquisitions. So bringing together Centile, VoiceWorks, Swix, but also the initial wave of acquisitions. And this is resulting into the launch of a new suite called Enreach Contact, which is our future UCaaS suite, integrated also with CCaaS. And we are launching the first versions of that now in the UK, soon also in Spain. And later this year we will launch in the Dutch market, in the German market, next year also in the Danish market. So we are rolling that out with one integrated user experience now into all our markets. So reaping the benefits of what we've been working so hard on with a team that now consists of really specialists from the different companies that form Enreach. So we're really proud and really happy to see that. And I'm really happy that we're finally going to be able to bring those solutions and show them to the market, including new mobile apps, new desktop apps, the whole thing. Great. So yeah, that's the main thing for the next 12 months, it's clear.
So, Stijn, I think that's a great place to end today's conversation. I will say it's been, fascinating watching Enreach grow, across Europe. You've been very active, and I really look forward to continuing to watch your journey.
Well, I hope to welcome you again to an interview soon, and thanks for taking the time, and really happy to be able to explain a bit what Enreach is all about. Thank you, David.
Brilliant, thank you. And thank you for watching. You've been watching me, David Dungay, on UC Today. If you like today's conversation, please give us a like and a share on social media. It's greatly appreciated. That's it from me. I'll see you next time.